SRO Magazine, your #1 source for music and entertainment news and interviews. SRO.
I mean, honestly, thanks for taking the time out to talk to me and SRO. How you doing today?
Oh, sure, no problem, man. I'm doing great, man. Here in Wausau, Wisconsin today, and we're on tour, and it's nice and sunny outside, but it's not too hot, so it's beautiful out.
Excellent. Well, we got the new album, Evolution, that just came out July 22nd, and they said,
great.
Yeah, it's. Tell us about it. Tell us a little bit about the new album.
Oh, great, yeah, well, it's kind of a departure, for lack of a better term, from other styles we've done, you know. Although every album is different from the previous one, this one is the same in that manner, but it's different in that we chose to kind of go a different route musically. We're a little more influenced on this record by some of the classics, or at least we let those influences kind of show a little bit more on this record. And those classics include bands like Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that, and some of my more my influences from like I guess you could call it the grunge era. Some of the Alice in Chains, South Park, stuff like that kind of came through on there as well. So yeah, it's a little bit different in that I don't believe we've really sort of exhibited or showcased those types of influences in the way that we did on this record. But my gosh, you know, it came out so good. We're so happy with the sound, and man, there were a lot of things that went right with this record, and we were very excited about it.
And the fans seems to be really liking it because it came out, it hit, debuted around 100 on the Billboard Top 200. And I mean, that's without a lot of radio play and a lot of stuff that, you know, like that. That's fan driven.
Yeah, it's true. It really is. And you know, the thing is, this is the longest we've gone without putting out a record. And so, the fans kind of had to wait around for a while for any sort of material, and we're so grateful that our fans did that, you know, and didn't forget about us, you know, and we're just so glad that they came out, got the record, and that we're getting the response we're getting from it.
Well, I was very lucky. I got an advanced copy, so I got to listen to it, you know, early on. And I'm telling you, man, I mean, and the ones that they're pushing, you know, the No Tomorrows and the One More Body, and my personal favorite is absolutely Lost in Babylon. Love that song. Love that song. It's but every one of them is, and if you go back, and this one was a little bit, you know, longer that you put out, because I mean, from when you joined the band, which was like 04, right? And started in Only in America, and you guys had that, and then Back to Base X at 6, and Insomnia, and 08, and 09, and 10. What took this a little longer? Did you guys just take a little break from writing, or did you just put a little bit more in and trying to decide where this one was going?
Well, you know, there were a lot of things that really resulted in the amount of time it took for the record to come out. It didn't take us longer to write the material. It took us longer. It took longer for all the sort of ducks to line up in a row. I mean, when the touring cycle or album cycle for Truth Rising was kind of winding down, we were getting to the point where this is kind of around the time where we need to start thinking about more material. You know, I had material ready to go as I normally do. I always have something waiting around, you know.
Right.
And you know, we were looking at maybe going a different direction musically. We were looking at severing ties with the label we had at the time. And you know, as we were sort of making these moves, slowly but surely, you know, we were also touring. So we had a lot going on. Come 2010, I want to say maybe 2012, there was material written, but you know, we didn't really have any means of where how we were going to release the material, how we were going to go about recording it, how we were going to complete the whole album process, you know. And we had the material 2012. There are a couple tracks I had ready to go. Jared had some material. Actually, Mark and Trauma went in the studio and recorded to some of that material. But, you know, as time went on, we really started talking about getting this other direction going, the one that was a little more closer to what we're doing now. And so, you know, a lot of that material just kind of got put on the shelf for a while, and we kind of focused on some of this new material. Some of this new material was, a lot of it was some of the stuff that I had written in 2013 after we had discussed what we wanted to do, okay? So 2013, we're touring around, we're discussing this new sound, we're kind of starting from scratch. We're not 100% sure what label we're going to release stuff on, but we know we want to get some material ready. We started jamming on a couple riffs at sound check, and you know, Trauma and I were kind of bouncing around ideas and stuff, and as we do. And Mark came in, joined in, the whole band was there, and man, it was we just heard that sound, and we were just at that that sound check. We were convinced this is the sound we want to go for. So after that, just started writing along the lines of that, you know, and you know, by summer 2014, we had the drums recorded, we had the guitars recorded, and you know, we ended up getting the vocals and bass recorded later on that year, earlier this year, and yeah, man. So you know, and then finally it worked out to where, you know, we were talking with Pavement. And it worked out around that time that, you know, this is what we want to do. We're going to put this album out. We're going to do it with Pavement, and there you go. So, you know, it probably didn't have to take that long, but there was just a lot of logistical stuff that kind of forced us to kind of draw out the process a little bit. We weren't going to do it half-assed, man.
Right.
We weren't going to do it unless we knew we could do it right. So, you know, finally, it's out, and we're stoked. So, yeah.
How is it working with Pavement? I mean, they are out there, and I mean, they're pushing your stuff, and it's, you know, how is it to work with those guys?
Oh, it's great, man. They are working their butts off, and they are sharing our vision in terms of what we want to do with the band. And you know, Tim King, who's also the bass player for the band Soil,
right.
Is actually, well, he's the A&R guy, and he works with that label. And you know, we've known him for a while. You know, we've been touring with Soil since 2012, and man, just such a great guy, phenomenal musician, just a great band. And the people at Pavement, Shauna O'Donnell, she's amazing too. They're really just they do an amazing job, and they do a good job as well as of just making us feel a part of something, and it's great, you know. And they're so hands on with everything, and it's a great feeling to be part of something like that, you know. That's
excellent. I've always loved working with them. They've always been, I mean, wonderful and very nice and accommodating to me. You guys are on the road right now touring with Powerman 5000?
That's correct. We started this run with Powerman 5000. It actually officially started, I believe, on the 2nd. And we'll be actually out on the road until, I believe, the 12th. I know some dates being added towards the end of September. Powerman's going to be out with us until, I believe, I want to say the 28th, 24th to 28th, towards the end of August.
Right.
Then we're jumping on with Dope. We'll be doing a run with them as well.
That's on the 30th. Grand Rapids, Michigan, with you and Dope. And that's going to be a hell of a show. That's going to be a hell of a show. I would like to see that. Big fan of both of those bands. So since you can...
yeah, dude.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You just talk.
Yeah, I was saying, we played a couple of shows with them in the past. They're super cool dudes. And I should also mention on this run, we've got a third band. They're on with the band called Sunflower Dead, and we're friends with those guys. They're super cool dudes. They're out of Long Beach. They've jumped on the past few tours with us. They're out in this run as well. Sunflower Dead.
Okay, well, I will check them out. That sounds cool. Hey, if you
sure.
recommend them, I'm in. Because I mean, I've been a big fan of you guys since I mean, only in America, and that's where I first. And actually, that's not true. A little bit before that, on some of the stuff off the Broke, when you did the when they did the Black Sabbath, when they did that, that's where I first got introduced to you guys. And since you came in, you've been one of the you and Jared you're the main songwriters. And how does that?
But I submit a lot of the music to him, but he writes a great deal of the music as well. But he writes all the lyrics and oversees kind of like he takes on the role of the producer, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, so, that's what I was going to ask. Who comes up with, and how do you guys? Because you're not shy about writing what you want to write about. You guys never have been. And is there any subjects that are taboo that you won't go? Or is there, I mean, if it fits the music and it fits the environment, man, let's go with it.
Yeah, the only taboo subject I could really see for Jared is writing for a purpose other than for one that he truly believes in.
Okay.
That's the only taboo I could see from Jared. He really has to feel every single lyric, and it has to come from the heart. He's never going to just write something just to write something just for this and that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So with him, it comes from the soul.
Do you guys, do you guys view your music as like for change, as like a platform for change? That, I mean, even if it's one person, or it's 10 people, or if it's 1,000 people, that maybe something that you're talking about can all of a sudden click in another person.
Right. Well, lyrically and musically, that's the reason we do this. Partially because we are inspired to do something, but if the results are that somebody else is inspired and their lives are enriched, then that's mission accomplished. Really, I mean, take away all the other superficial stuff, whatever it is. There's a business side to it as well.
Right, of course.
We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't love music, and that's really, I mean, if we can accomplish those two main things, then that is just great. That is, you know what I mean? Someone's heard it, someone's resonated with it, and perhaps their lives have changed in a positive way as a result. We couldn't really ask for anything else, but that's as real as it gets, So if that's the result of something we do, then that's really a great thing,
How does it feel? I mean, you guys have your influences, as we all do. I mean, Beastie Boys, Sabbath, I'm sure, Zeppelin, all of those. But how is it for you guys to be the next generation's influence?
Oh, wow. I never even think about that, honestly.
Well, you guys are.
I
mean, you're in that genre.
Oh, man.
You're
Yeah.
And I've heard it. I mean, and that's some of the younger bands that I've sat there and talked to. You're one of your band and your music and your albums are the influence on a new generation. And that must feel...
Wow, that's a trip. Well, yeah, I gotta be honest, I never would have thought that or guessed that, but I mean, that's a pretty amazing thing to be a part of. Honestly, when we do our thing, we're doing it because we love to do it, and if it's a part of something bigger, then that's great too, But it's really all just, if anything, I just look at it like we're just a part of that big dance, that continuing dance, where it's just, somebody comes out, does their thing, they enjoy it, influences somebody else, they do the same thing, and then it's just, it's part of the bigger cycle,
Right.
And, wow, if we're a part of that in some substantial way, that is quite amazing.
That's excellent. Man, it's been great to talk to you. I love the new album, and I've been a big fan for a long time, but Evolution, it's out there. It's absolutely rocked. And any song that you go through, from No Turning Back all the way down to number 12, Hold On, is going to rock. And I mean, it's hard, but it's involved, and it's not a superficial album. It's there, and The one thing I love about you guys is you have no style, but you have every style, and it's amazing.
That's awesome. That's great, man.
That's the way I've always looked at it, because if you look through, I mean, you go to Insomnia and then you look at Truth Rising, and those aren't the same albums. I mean, they're not the same. And then you look at Evolution to Only in America, and those aren't the same, but they're the same band.
Wow.
It's beautiful that way, because you don't know where you're going with it. And I appreciate it, and I appreciate the honesty that you guys have shown throughout the years and saying, hey, we're going to do what we're going to do. I mean, 4 record companies, who cares? We're going to keep doing what we do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. As long as there's people out there like yourself and organizations out there that do a wonderful job helping bands like us do what we do, we're going to continue doing it, because, I'm not going to cry or anything, but it's not, being in a band and touring is not the same as it was. It's just not.
Mm-hmm.
And, we need as much help as we can get out here doing what we do. And, man, again, we're just so grateful to people like yourself and organizations like yourself, and to the fans for sticking around and everything. And
oh yeah,
it's really a magnificent thing to be a part of.
Well, Jaxon, man, I am at my time. I do appreciate you taking time out from Head PE, one of the great bands in their genre. You guys are one of the great bands, and thank you so much for coming on with us. Anything you need, come to SRO Magazine, or you can always talk to Ferg. I'm here for you, and if any new news comes out, come and talk to me, man. I'm always there for you.
Oh, right on, Ferg. I appreciate it, and it's an honor to be a part of your program, and we'll be talking soon.
Excellent. Thank you very much, and you have a great day, brother.
Okay, Ferg. Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
For more information on all the greatest bands in rock today, and for all your music and entertainment news, you know where to go. Go to SRO. That's SROMagInc.com. SRO Magazine is sponsored by Kick-Ass Cables, PhDRadio.com, Robert's Guitar, TDLMusicGroup.com. The SRO audio and video was done by Carson Drive Studios and SROMagInc.com.